Chapter 13. The search for Oma begins. The morning light streamed through the curtains, casting a gentle glow across the hotel room. Dale blinked his eyes open, stretching his arms above his head with a satisfied sigh. Across the hall, Sophie stirred from her slumber, her tousled, fiery red hair framing her face as she rubbed the sleep from her eyes. She called Dale's room from her room phone. "Morning, Dale," she murmured, her voice still heavy with sleep. "Morning, Sophie," Dale replied, a smile tugging at the corners of his lips. "Ready for another day of adventure?" Sophie grinned, her gray eyes brightening with excitement. "You bet I am. I can't wait to hit the road and start exploring." Meanwhile, in the room adjacent to Dale, Dr. Anderson roused from his sleep, his mind already buzzing with anticipation for the day ahead. He quickly got dressed and made his way to the lobby to meet up with Dale and Sophie. As they gathered in the hotel lobby, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee filled the air, invigorating their senses and fueling their excitement for the journey ahead. After having coffee, they loaded up their gear from their rooms, ensuring that everything was charged up and ready to go. As they drove along, excitement bubbled within them, eager to begin their expedition. However, their excitement was soon replaced with confusion as they found themselves on what appeared to be a rough dirt road leading up into the hills. "This should be the logging road," Dale remarked, squinting at the map as he drove along. Sophie frowned, glancing around at the dense forest surrounding them. "Are you sure? It doesn't look like much of a road to me." "Yeah, I'm sure. Logging roads are barely used and tend to be pretty rough and overrun," Dale replied. Dr. Anderson added his opinion to the conversation. "I don't know, I have to agree with Sophie. This doesn't seem right." Just then, they noticed a figure emerging from a nearby cabin, waving them over. Relieved to see someone who might provide directions, they pulled up alongside the cabin. Dale rolled down the window, leaning out to address the man. "Yeah, we were trying to find the logging road. We must have taken a wrong turn." The man chuckled, shaking his head. "No worries. Happens all the time. You're actually on my driveway. The logging road you're looking for is just a bit further down the main road, maybe 500 yards. Be careful or you will miss it, it's just a 2-track. Grateful for the guidance, Dale thanked the man, and continued on their way, following his directions to the correct path. As they finally found the true logging road, a narrow track barely visible amidst the towering trees, they shared a laugh at their earlier confusion. "Well, that was an unexpected detour," Sophie remarked, sarcasm in her voice as she fiddled with her seatbelt. "I'm so glad you're our navigator for this journey," she finished off jokingly, with a big smile. Dale and Stephen both chuckled. "Indeed, but at least we're back on track now," Dr. Anderson added in. As they ventured further along the logging road, the landscape became increasingly rugged, the narrow path winding its way through the dense forest. About a mile into their journey, their progress came to an abrupt halt as they encountered a massive fallen tree blocking their path. Dale brought the SUV to a stop, his brow furrowing as he assessed the situation. "Well, looks like we've hit a bit of a roadblock," he remarked, stepping out of the vehicle to get a closer look at the obstacle. Sophie joined him, her eyes widening at the sight of the massive tree sprawled across the road. "That's quite the tree. How are we going to move that?" Dr. Anderson emerged from the back seat, surveying the scene with a thoughtful expression. "We'll need to get creative. Luckily, we have the SUV jack. If we can lift the tree bit by bit, we might be able to clear a path." With a plan in mind, they retrieved the SUV jack from the trunk and set to work, positioning it strategically beneath the massive trunk. Working together, they slowly began to lift the tree, the jack groaning under the weight. Hours passed as they painstakingly maneuvered the tree, inch by inch, off the road. Sweat beaded on their brows as they exerted themselves, muscles straining with the effort. But despite the challenges, they remained determined, fueled by the shared goal of clearing the path ahead. Finally, after what felt like an eternity of exertion, they succeeded in moving the tree off the road, clearing the way for their journey to continue. Breathing heavily, they stepped back to admire their handiwork, a sense of accomplishment washing over them. "We did it," Dale exclaimed, wiping his brow with the back of his hand. "That was no easy task, but we managed to get the tree out of the way." Sophie nodded, a smile of satisfaction tugging at her lips. "Teamwork really does make the dream work. I'm impressed with how we tackled that obstacle together. Dr. Anderson clapped Dale on the back, a grin spreading across his face. Absolutely. This just goes to show that there's no challenge we can't overcome when we work together. With the path now clear, they piled back into the SUV, ready to continue their journey deeper into the wilderness of the Hoopa Valley. Despite the challenges they had faced, their spirits remained high, eager to see what adventures awaited them ahead. As they continued along the winding logging road, the dense forest enveloped them in a tapestry of towering trees and lush greenery. Sunlight filtered through the canopy, casting dappled shadows on the forest floor as they drove deeper into the heart of the Sierra Nevada. Amidst the serene landscape, wildlife abounded, offering glimpses of nature's splendor at every turn. Squirrels darted among the trees, their bushy tails flicking as they scampered about. Birds flitted overhead, their melodic calls filling the air with a symphony of sound. Dale pointed out a majestic deer grazing by the roadside, its antlers silhouetted against the golden hues of the setting sun. "Look at that," he exclaimed, his voice filled with wonder. "Nature's truly remarkable." Sophie nodded in agreement, her gaze sweeping over the picturesque scenery. "Absolutely breathtaking. It's moments like these that remind us of the beauty of the wilderness." Dr. Anderson marveled at the rugged terrain unfolding before them, the rugged peaks of the Sierra Nevada rising in the distance. "This landscape is simply awe-inspiring," he remarked, a sense of reverence in his voice. It's no wonder Bigfoot would call this place home. As they neared the end of the logging road, the sky began to darken, the fading light casting a soft glow over the landscape. With nightfall fast approaching, they realized it would be too risky to attempt the hike to their planned campsite in the fading light. "We should set up camp here for the night," Dr. Anderson suggested, his voice filled with urgency. "It's getting too dark to venture any further, and we don't want to get lost in the wilderness. I mean, our navigator needs all the help he can get." They all laughed as Dale said, "Are you guys going to give me a hard time about that for the rest of the trip?" Sophie, still giggling, answered. "Someone has to. It's all in good fun, you know I trust you to get us there." After having a good laugh, Dale pulled over to the trailhead near the end of the road, the towering trees providing small amount of shelter from the encroaching cold air. With practiced efficiency, they pitched their tents and set up a makeshift campsite, the glow of lanterns illuminating their surroundings. As they settled in for the night, the crackling of the campfire filled the air, casting flickering shadows across their faces. They gathered around the fire, sharing stories and laughter as they prepared a simple meal over the flames. Against the backdrop of a breathtaking starry night sky, they savored their first evening in the wilderness of the Hoopa Valley, their spirits buoyed by the promise of adventure that lay ahead. With the night sky ablaze with stars of golden hues, dotting a deep purse velvet sky above them, they drifted off to sleep, anticipation coursing through their veins for the adventures that awaited them on the morrow. Hey, thanks for watching this video. I hope you are enjoying listening to this amazing story. If you are, please hit the like button as if it was the camera shutter, and Bigfoot was standing in front of you. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more awesome content like this. I have many more chapters and books I would love to share with you, so stay tuned. By subscribing, you'll also help me reach my goal of 3,000 subscribers and get a chance to win free merch. So what are you waiting for? Can't you hear it, the sound of adventure? Hit the like button and subscribe now. Take up the call, I know y'all can hear it. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much, your support is important to me and helps me out greatly.